What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching The Road to TF5. This is just a web series we're talking about Transformers 5. This is episode number 6. And before we begin, let's just give a happy birthday shout out to Lewis and Stephen Moore's sister. Happy birthday, Lewis, and happy birthday to Stephen Moore's sister. Thank you for being part of the Ragin Nation. I appreciate all your support, so happy birthday to both y'all. Alright, so what we're going to talk about in this episode is Dinobots. Everybody loves Dinobots, and of course in Age of Extinction, the Dinobots were of course the highlight of the film, even though their appearance was kind of short-lived. They were in the movie for what, 5-6 minutes max? Maybe not even 5 minutes when you combine all the screen time together. I mean, a few seconds here, a few seconds there. I don't know if they really even made up 5 minutes, but the fact is that people love the Dinobots even before the movie came out, and they're definitely fan favorites. Now, before I begin talking about Dinobots, let's talk about the box office of Transformers Age of Extinction. Hold up, you're probably thinking, why do we need to talk about the box office? The movie is out on Blu-ray. Why is there a need to talk about the box office? Well, as a matter of fact, one thing you gotta know is that Dinobots is directly connected with box office. And let me just explain how in just a second. First of all, one thing you gotta know that is quite significant about the box office is that Transformers Age of Extinction is now officially in the top 10 list of highest grossing films worldwide. Originally, it was at number 11 for a long time, right behind The Dark Knight Rises. The Dark Knight Rises was at, or rather is at, $1,084 million. Okay, so $1.084 billion, okay, and was at number 10. Now, Transformers Age of Extinction took that number 10 spot, bumping The Dark Knight Rises to number 11. Now Transformers Age of Extinction has an accumulated worldwide box office take at $1.087 billion. That's a lot of money, and congratulations to Michael Bay and co. for such an achievement, for making it to the top 10 list of highest grossing films worldwide. Now there are two Transformers films in the top 10 list. Okay, now the only reason why Transformers Age of Extinction is such a huge box office success in the foreign market is because of Dinobots. Now you're probably thinking, you know, I'm sure it's not just the Dinobots. Actually, it is. Now, it's not because Dinobots are a fan favorite. Well, I mean, that's a part of it. And it's not just because a lot of fans wanted to see Dinobots in the live-action universe. It's not a whole lot about that. It's the fact that the Dinobots' origins, geographically, was in China. Okay? Thus, forcing, or rather making, or rather having the film being filmed in China. Let's go back in time, and let's just look at how Transformers, the previous Transformers live-action films, did at the Chinese box office. Okay, let's just take a look at that. I think it's very important that people understand the whole logistics of how these decisions work, or these decisions get made about, for example, including Dinobots. Let's just take a look at this. So in the first Transformers film, which came out in 2007, their Chinese box office take was only $37 million. Very, very little. $37 million, okay? So that's very tiny. And then next, Revenge of the Fallen's Chinese box office take was doubled, okay? It was doubled at $65 million. So you're seeing a little bit of increase, you're seeing a little bit of a progression. The Chinese audiences are welcoming, of course, the Transformers live-action films, and it looks like some really good foreign marketing really boosted up that Chinese box office take. Now, here's the crazy part. Check this out. Transformers Dark of the Moon had a significant jump in the Chinese box office, at $165 million. That's an additional $100 million more than the Chinese box office take from Revenge of the Fallen, which was only $65 million. Now, why is that? Why exactly did Dark of the Moon make so much more? Well, it actually has a lot to do with timing, as a matter of fact. A movie that came out in December of 2009, which really had the Chinese audience embrace IMAX and 3D, was Avatar, directed by James Cameron. After Avatar came out in December 2009, the Chinese audiences really took a liking to the IMAX 3D format, and because of that, they're really welcoming a lot of these films. And of course, the production of Transformers: Dark of the Moon noted, they realized this, and because of that, Michael Bay and the production employed the same 3D team that worked on Avatar to work on his film, and it put a huge marketing campaign to let people know that Transformers: Dark of the Moon is going to have Avatar quality, Avatar level 3D, and they also marketed this film heavily towards China, thus making this film gain $165 million from the Chinese audiences alone. Now, fast forward to today, 2014. The production of Transformers: Age of Extinction not only had an IMAX 3D film, but they also, of course, pandered this film to China. Okay? And that was having it filmed in China, having Chinese talent in the film, having lots of Chinese product placement in the film, filming in very unique Chinese locations geographically, and on top of that, making the Chinese government look good in their story. Okay? And because of that, the Chinese box office take was $300 million. Now, enough about talking about box office. What the heck does this have to do with Dinobots? A whole lot. Because Aaron Kruger, the writer, had to come up with an idea of how to make China play an important part in the movie's story. And that would be to have it as the origins of the Dinobots. Now, not complete the actual origins, but you see the Dinobots for the first time in China. According to the film, it's Hong Kong, but it's actually geographically in China at Wulong Park. That's a county, Wulong County. Okay, so Dinobots being in Transformers: Age of Extinction was because they were located in China. Now, what the heck does this have to do with Transformers 5? A whole lot. Okay, now let's talk about what they can do with Transformers 5. If Transformers: Age of Extinction had nothing to do with China, they would lose $300 million or maybe $200 million in their box office take, making their box office take for Transformers: Age of Extinction at just a little bit over $800 million. That is unacceptable. At least that should be unacceptable to Paramount. Because why would they want to make a sequel if they're not even guaranteed that they're going to make $1 billion, just like how Transformers: Dark of the Moon made $1 billion? They need China. Okay, they need China to make that extra $200+ million, and if they want to repeat the same success as Transformers: Age of Extinction for Transformers 5, they need to have Dinobots back. And why? And what does this have to do with China? Well, they need to write a story where the Autobots need reinforcements so that they can go back to China, get the Dinobots, or rather call the Dinobots and call them from hiding in China, and thus have Dinobots in the movie. And therefore, they can repeat the same box office same global box office success that Transformers: Age of Extinction had. Okay? One thing you got to really understand is that the Transformers live action films are the biggest feature-length commercials ever devised by Hollywood. There is no other film that is a better marketing tool than the Transformers live action films. They sell toys. They sell cars. They also sell all the different types of various and unique products that are placed in this film as their product placement marketing campaign. All right? So these movies sell a lot of products, and you know what? Transformers 5 is going to be no different than what the previous 4 films have been doing, and that is to sell products, okay? Now, speaking of products, we got to talk about the Dinobot toys, and I'm pretty sure that Hasbro CEO Brian Goldner will want a hand in that decision about having Dinobots in the 5th film. Because, like I said, this movie is about selling products, and one of those products is the Transformers toy line. Okay, now one of the things that comes to mind is if they're gonna have Dinobots in Transformers 5, then what are the toys gonna be like? Are they gonna be the same? Because I don't want to buy the same toys again. That's where Hasbro CEO Brian Goldner comes in. He's gonna probably make some requests to whoever's directing the Transformers 5 film, if it's not Michael Bay, and that is to give the Dinobots upgrades. By giving the Dinobots upgrades, you make all new Dinobot toys. Okay? By giving the Dinobot upgrades, you're going to see a new version of the Dinobots that you've never seen on film. Okay? And also by giving the Dinobots upgrades, kids will not have to face their parents when their parents say that, but you already bought this one. That way the kids can say, but it's different. This version of Grimlock in Transformers 5 is completely different from the version of Grimlock in Transformers Age of Extinction. That's how they're going to respond if their parents say that it's the same thing. It's not. That's why the Dinobots have to have upgrades, and that is also why that they either have to include a new Dinobot into the mix, into the Dinobot lineup, or subtract a weaker Dinobot to replace him with a brand new Dinobot who could probably be located in the Knights Temenos. Okay, so that is something that is up in the air. But I'm gonna throw it out there right now that well, here's the bottom line. Okay. If Paramount Studios or Paramount Pictures wants to replicate the same success, the same global success that Transformers Age of Extinction did, okay, they need to have it filmed in China. And to give it a story that has to do with having it filmed in China, they need to have Dinobots. And if they want to sell more Dinobot toys, they got to give the Dinobots upgrades or at least include new Dinobot characters. That's what's going to happen. This is just my personal prediction. I mean, I could be entirely wrong, but logistically thinking, I mean, if you got to think as a business person, this is a smart business move, okay? Think about it. $300 million what's made by the Chinese audiences alone, okay? That is almost a third of the entire global box office take. You don't want to say bye to that, okay? So this is what's going to happen. We're going to see Dinobots in Transformers 5, and most likely we're going to see upgrades, but that's just my prediction, okay? It's something I'm sure that a lot of people are pretty happy about, but you know what? Even Lorenzo de Bonaventura himself said that seeing the Dinobots in Transformers Age of Extinction was a bit of a teaser. You know, that wasn't the last time you're going to see the Dinobots. This was just the introduction to the Dinobots. Michael Bay wasn't going to give us everything from the Dinobots. They're definitely going to make another movie where the Dinobots are called upon again because the Autobots need reinforcements to fight a bigger threat. All right, so I'm just speaking from the perspective of a smart businessman, and also I'm just speaking on what's logistically feasible, or not feasible, but more ideal as a business. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, these movies are big marketing tools, And every decision that goes into the story and script of this movie is a business decision. How does it affect the business model as a whole? You know what I'm saying? So there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. I'm just putting it out there that I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Dinobots in Transformers 5. What do you guys think about that? And which Dinobot would you like to see? Or rather, which cybernetic or Cybertronian dinosaur would you like to see in Transformers 5? Let me know in the comment section below. The fact is that they can put in any dinosaur robot in the movie, not necessarily just the 5 that we know from G1. There could be a lot of different dinosaurs that they can make into Cybertronians. All right? Let me know what a dinosaur robot you would want to see, and hopefully we can see it happen. So that's all I got to say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @Ragin Nation. My name's Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Showing you guys what I was shown, okay? And what we have here is the kill cards. The kill cards.